Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is long overdue, and I know it is. So thank you for your patience in waiting for this. I wanted to take some time today and talk about 3 things that really have made a huge difference in my life. Quick pause here. Since this is an instructional video, it's actually going to be part 1 of 3. So stay tuned for the other 2 episodes. Life in terms of establishing what I call work-life continuity. And just to refresh, work-life continuity is the reality of our lives. There's a lot of talk, or there's been a lot of talk historically about this concept of work-life balance. And we all know that work-life balance is not a real thing at all. It is a complete joke. Love Chaka Khan. She is an icon and forever will be, but I am not every woman, and it is not all in me. And the moment you realize that is the moment that you begin to free yourself from this sense of balance. And perfect example is me sitting right here in my home. I have my laptop in front of me with some notes on it, and also because I was actually working as well. And as you can see on my table here, I have some Legos that my son was supposed to put away, but he didn't. And I'm choosing to not care about that. Life is what it is. And the 3 things that I think are the most important things to realize about establishing what I call work-life continuity are, first of all, to have clear expectations of your reality. Clear expectations of your reality. I'll tell you a story to help illustrate this. My husband and I were in our bathroom. We have separate sinks, and we were just kind of getting ready for the day and so on. And he noticed a certain look on my face, and he asked me, he's like, well, babe, what kind of zone are you in right now? Like, are you in mom mode? Are you in work mode? Are you thinking about a meeting that you have? Like, what are you doing? And I looked at him a bit puzzled because I didn't know how to answer that question. What I realized in that moment, and that I expressed to him in that moment, is that I don't have a mom mode versus a work mode versus a teaching mode versus a presentation mode I don't have different modes. It's all one mode. It's all one running list going through my mind constantly over the course of the day. And the things on that list can be categorized differently, whether it applies to mommy work, or it applies to work, professional work, or if it applies to a home task, or dealing with a task with my parents, or contacting my extended family, something like that. But it's all one running list for me. And it was an interesting exercise that really came completely randomly, but it was a wonderful exercise and a wonderful way to sort of illustrate that I have to be realistic about what my expectations are around work-life continuity. In his mind, my husband's mind, he has a list for work, a list for home, a list for kids, a list for me. They're all completely separate lists. And whether or not he's working on that list is dependent upon if he's actively in the physical space associated with that list. So if he's at work, he's only dealing with the work list. He can't think about the home list, or about the kid list, or about the extended family list. No, if he's physically in his work office, he's thinking about work. I'm sitting here, I have my work computer, I'm in my home because I work from home. Everything is running all together. And even if I wasn't in this situation, in times previously where I've worked outside of the home in a physical office, while I'm at that physical office, I'm still thinking about all the things, all of them. So one thing I had to realize for myself is I have to be very clear with my expectations. The first expectation of which is my brain is not wired to have separate lists. My brain is not wired to think of separate things. It's all one list. And that is not going to change. And the older I get and the longer I'm in this game of life, the more I realize that my brain is not going to unwire from that. Nor am I going to try to unwire my brain from that, because it's going to lead to frustration, because my brain is wired the way that it's wired. And I have to control my thoughts associated with that and my reaction to that accordingly. So one thing that I did in terms of setting that expectation is to realize that, okay, I have all these different things going on. I have all these different calendars and such. How can I consolidate all of that into one thing? There are a number of ways that people do that. I actually got into the world of planning, physical hard copy planners. I actually have some planner merchandise that I'm coming out with to help facilitate this and to share this with others so that you can get that sense of sort of continuity as well. Because what I realized is that I had a work calendar. And in fact, I had 2 work calendars on my laptop. I had my work calendar for my independent consulting business. I had my work calendar, the separate work calendar that had to do with my, what I would consider 9 to 5 as a instructor at the college level. And then on top of that, you get these worksheets that come home from school for all the different activities, and all those activities have their own calendar, but none of those calendars are digitized and on. It was too much. It was too much. And the swim team tryout and the swim team practices that are twice a day. And then you have the gymnastics practices, which are different during the summer than they are during the fall. And then you have competition schedule. And by the way, you have piano recital. I'm stressing myself out thinking about it. And I'm sure I'm stressing you out. So my apologies. What I found that works for me, because I am still a hard copy, old school, I need to touch the paper kind of girl, is I found planner. And if you're interested, I can share with you where I got this particular planner cover. But this is, and I'm not going to get into the juicy details because it is a whole thing, planners. And I should have lowered you just a little bit so you can see this better. But see if I can do this without everything crashing and falling. But this is my planner. And in my planner, and I'll pull the page out so you can see. I'll pull an older page out so you're not like in my current business, you know. But I have this page and it has every day of the week on this page. It has the hours down the side of that page. And I'm able to write in and block off all the things. And even though this admittedly is redundant because I have my 2 Outlook calendars on my computer, what it allowed me to do is to consolidate my Outlook calendars with the 15 calendars coming from the kids' schools and extracurricular activities into one place so that I don't lose my mind. So setting those expectations around what's possible and creating tools and solutions to help you manage those expectations, that is really what's critical for maintaining and achieving this sense of work-life continuity. Because you can't have continuity if all of your calendars and all of your life is kind of segmented in different places and you can't corral it into one space. Corral it into one space and say, you know what, we are all going to get through this life together one way or another, and it is what it is. So set clear expectations for yourself about what's realistic, about what you can accomplish, about what's possible for you, and about what will enable you to be successful and sane in this life that we have. That's the first point. Being real with your expectations is only the first part of the story. Stay tuned to the next upload to learn more. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. Have a good one.